It is inconceivable that the United States of America is in the situation that it is today. That the government has shut down because a group of individuals, a group of congressmen, have decided unilaterally to put the country at risk just because they believe that a law needs to be changed. This is like the Democrats making a choice of shutting down the government because they believe that the Second Amendment needs to be changed. It's exactly the same. Imagine having a Democratic Congress, and because the Speaker of the House of the Democratic caucus decides that the Second Amendment needs to be changed and gun control have to be put into place, that because of that they're going to shut down the government. It's exactly the same. We may not be in agreement with Obamacare. Okay, if we're not in agreement, let's change and let's propose changes on the law. But to take the government and the president hostage just because you want to make your point across is inconceivable. Moreover, the president at this particular moment needs to lead. He needs to lead because, yes, he has a gun on his head and he needs to make sure that our country does not default. Therefore, right now what is at risk is 40 million Americans that have no health care insurance versus 260 million Americans, plus the 40 million that are going to be hurt if we allow the Republicans to continue pushing this craziness. So, this is my suggestion for the president. And again, I am not in one side or the other, but I'm an immigrant. The reason why I came to the United States and why many of us came to the United States is because we lived in our countries what we are living today in the United States. This craziness that they put party and belief and their principle first versus the country. That's what's happened in Latin America all the time. And that is what's happening in other countries in the world that are not developed all the time. America is different. We should not be going through this. And Republicans saying that in the past we have gone through these government shutdowns, and Democrats saying that in the past we have gone through these government shutdowns and that it is okay. It is not okay. This is not America. What we are doing is we are revolting. We're utilizing the laws and our procedures to revolt against our own laws. And that is what happens in other countries. It cannot happen in America. So this is what I suggest the president to do. Mr. President, I am very sorry right now, but you need to go on national television explain in detail why you, that have a gun in your head, will have to make a decision. Will have to make a decision to delay the process with the Affordable Care Act just for you not to allow the U.S. to default. But you need to make sure that every single American understands that the only reason why you're doing this is because you have a gun on your head. Everyone needs to understand that you were and that you have been taken hostage. And because you were taken hostage, you are forced to save the country and the world of a calamity and a collapse. Everyone needs to understand that that the reason why you are doing this is only to save the US prestige, is to save the US from collapsing, and more important, to keep the principle that the US pays its debt. We are the world leader. We are not like other countries. So for the first time, you are going to allow this craziness go through just to save the US reputation and the US economy. Right after that, let's work and let's find a way for the American people to know and not to allow these individuals in Congress to do this again. This cannot happen again. Of course, this is painful. This may hurt 40 million people for more months, maybe for a year. But you could even take this to the courts. You could even find a way to take this to the courts to make these irresponsible congressmen pay for what they have done. They have hurt our country. Because they're not going to back off. They know that if you back off, Mr. President, they may use this tactic again. But this tactic cannot happen again. We need to change this somehow. And it is impossible for this country to be managed and to move forward with this type of tactics. So even though I do not agree of you, Mr. President, stepping down and letting force make you make decisions that are not either good, because I'm not agreeing on moving forward and stopping the law of the Affordable Care Act just because these individuals have taken you hostage. But I do believe that the grandeur, the country, the world in this particular moment is at stake. And because you're being taken hostage, you are forced to save more people out of a collapse and hurt a few. It's not a few, it's a lot of people, it's a lot of millions of people that I care about. By the way, I disagree 100% with what the Republicans are doing. 100%. This is unbelievable. And they're doing exactly what other governments in Latin America and in third world countries have done. Utilizing the procedures and the law to move their agenda. And that is really unconstitutional. They're just manipulating the law. That they're not based on principles. So, Mr. President, you may not like my advice. Please think about other options, but do not let the U.S. default. Do not let the U.S. default. If you can do anything to prove to the world that you're just doing this to help the world, to help the U.S., I can assure you that your ratings are going to go up. Everyone will blame, definitely, these individuals that are taking our country hostage. Good luck, and I hope that God bless you and that God bless America.